It's heavenly. Huh? The seasons are changing, and so are the ways we are dining out, especially when it comes to eating outdoors. The weather may be unusually mild right now, and all the restaurateurs are like, yes, but soon it will be a lot colder. Restaurants are changing things up to make outdoor dining cooler by putting up igloos and tents. So how do they work, and how do restaurants keep them safe and clean? We asked our friends with Union Joints restaurants to show us what they're doing. We are joined by Union Joints co-owner Kurt Catallo and Jeremy Basley. Hey, what's going on, guys?
Hey, Jason, Tati, greetings from another repurposed church here on Main Street in Clarkston.
you know, you can always have the mac and cheese to keep you warm.
Mandatory, yeah, it's all built on that, and this is a great time for America to have some comfort food. We know that firsthand.
What are you doing to keep outdoor dining going during the cooler weather, Kurt?
You know, we're fortunate, and all of Michigan restaurants really relied on patios and outdoor dining to get us through the pandemic with reduced capacity this summer. And we know going into winter we need to stretch the season somehow, and we've had igloos the last 5 years. And it's amazing how many other restaurants asked us about igloos because they knew that they were going to count on them. And I think in the past, these igloos have been kind of charming because they'd be warm and enclosed and it'd kind of be like John Travolta as Boy in the Plastic Bubble. Whereas this year, we know that's not exactly ideal because we need to make sure that these things are clean and the air is circulated and that they're reset for each guest. And so it's a different approach this year, but we're really counting on the igloos and the mess tents that we've built at our joints to get us through.
Are you putting a premium on the igloos and then otherwise you're in the mess tent, that kind of thing?
You know, we're not asking to charge for it. We're just asking that people come in and limit their time to an hour and a half to make the most of it. And in the past, where we might have a couple parties in there, as you can imagine, this year it's just one party per igloo for obvious reasons, and it can't extend past more than 6 individuals as part of the state mandate. And then between each seating, we go in, and Jeremy will demo it now, but we go in and spray a disinfectant, which is EPA and CDC certified. And so it sounds like a crop duster, but what it's really doing is killing the virus on contact. And it's a product that we're counting on. So we try to keep the doors open. We want our servers to kind of reach in and set the food down. Just different protocols versus last year because we're living in a different world than we were last year, as you can imagine.
Yeah, well, speaking of imagine, going back 25 years when you started your food empire, congratulations, by the way. Could you have imagined that you'd be on TV doing an interview and a guy would be in an igloo behind you running a... I mean, it's a strange new world, but you got to adapt to survive, right?
And the good news is restaurants, and particularly restaurants in Michigan, are adaptable and resilient, and we're used to calling audibles on the line and finding a way through. But if you'd asked me if Jeremy would be spraying disinfectant on the tables to kill a virus that is plaguing America, I would have never said, yeah, we can expect that headwind. We thought that having a restaurant on Main Street during the recession was going to be our biggest challenge. That turned out to be T-ball compared to the World Series that we're in right now.
Very nice analogy and a great reference to John Travolta and the bubble. Hey, what are you doing to celebrate your quarter-century milestone at the Clarkston Union?
You know, I'm going to turn it over to Jeremy because we've been whipping up some cocktails. We've been canning them, which is one of the good things about the state mandates, that they've made it easier for us to can cocktails and such, and we've taken full advantage of that. So we've got some great canned products that Jeremy will talk about.
Yeah, that's correct. We're doing the Union Mule in a can at various locations, which is our take on a Moscow Mule with my house-made ginger syrup, some shelf-stable lime, and vodka. And the other can that you see over there is the Honcho Frio, and that's an NA beverage using our Honcho cold brew. We have a great roasting system in Honcho just down the street from here. And we're taking that cold brew, adding a little bit of citric acid and sugar, and then carbonating it so it's kind of like a coffee soda. And then you see that bottle of Buffalo Trace. That's a single barrel that we sourced. We drove down to Kentucky back in the spring before the pandemic started, and we picked out an entire barrel of Buffalo Trace. And to celebrate the 25th anniversary, we had a lot of plans, obviously, but we're able to still pull off this one. It's an old-fashioned. It's a maple pecan mole bitter old-fashioned, which is a real simple cocktail, and we're offering this at all the Union joints while supplies last.
Well, I got to tell you, I could bartend. I'm dressed for it right now. I'll just drive up right after the show. I'll be there about noon.
It's all hands on deck right now. We'll be glad for the help.
Okay. Either Jeremy or Kurt, where can people learn more about your restaurants?
Well, you can visit unionjoints.com, and then, of course, all of our social media, Instagram, Facebook. We like to keep pretty up to date with our menus and goings on there. You can find Honcho, the Union, you can find the Bunkhouse, the Union General, Vincetta Garage, Fenton Fire Hall, all there on the social media.
Man, just
and
looking
Jason,
at that.
if you're going to head up, we'll take your scampi recipe too if you're coming up, Jason.
Nice work. All right, gentlemen, thank you so much for the time.
Thanks for having us. We really appreciate it.
The pleasure was all on this side of the camera.